Well, this product is so popular with my wife.
What is that?
Acai. Jeff, you make fun of my flavors, but they get talked about everywhere.
So did Ted Bundy. I believe, you can see we have a difference of opinion. I believe ice cream is dessert. It's a treat. If you're fat, don't eat it or account for it. If you're lactose intolerant, shop somewhere else. If you're diabetic, shop somewhere else. To me, growing up, ice cream was a treat, and it was full ice cream. And that's how I look at it. I want ice cream to taste like when I was a kid, and I want to get fat like when I was a kid. You know, after you eat the ice cream, walk around the block. That's all. But it's a treat. I don't look to solve the world's problems by altering the ice cream. Steve does, and he does a good job of it. Because if you don't try, you're not going to know. It's just not my thing.
But that's how you came up with all the flavors in your book.
Well, yes, but they're all full ice creams.
Yeah, but you did it by trying.
Of course.
And
I admire you for that.
Boldly went forward and tried.
Where no man has gone
That's
before.
right, because everybody else was opening up a 3-quart can of heavy gloppy strawberries in corn syrup and red dye 40. And Jeff said, hey, why don't we just go to the supermarket and buy mixed berries and see what happens? And so that's what I do. It just couldn't be easier. Jeff will tell you that he walks up and down the aisles looking homeless, which really scares him. They call security. But
Well, then I went up and down the aisles.
He goes up and down the aisles and says, wow, key lime pie pudding. That looks interesting. I bet I could take that powder and put it into an ice cream.
And all the the candy aisle, Oreos,
Yeah.
Snickers.
Yeah, that's where most of his ideas come from. And yours can too. Or if you don't want to be creative, you buy his book and that'll give you a great start. If you can make strawberry ice cream, you can make black raspberry, you can make mango, you can make Mount Rainier cherry, anything, because it's going to be the same proportions. You don't have to be afraid of anything. That's pretty neat. So I'll get this for you and pass it out. I'm going to use 4 quarts. Oh, that's a sorbet. How about that? Right. Okay, so 4 quarts of water. Let me get that going. And 3 quarts of puree, sugar. I'm going to use a bigger bucket. 4 quarts. This works. 4 quarts, please.
You got it.
And I'm going to use 3 pounds of sugar. I know there's sugar here somewhere. There we go.
Why don't you use the good sugar?
Oh, that's what I bought.
How much you need?
4 quarts.
No, how much sugar?
3 pounds, 8 ounces.
And of course, when you're measuring
3.5
sugar,
pounds.
what?
3.5 pounds.
When you're measuring sugar, first you got to weigh your empty container, right? Okay. And then zero the scale.
So acai, impossible. It took me,
You have to say it right.
It took me a year and a half to learn how to say it because otherwise you're going to embarrass yourself. Acai.
Acai.
Acai. Or acai. Or Acai. It's impossible to say, but once you catch on that it's acai, it's quite easy. It's from Brazil, and it's a little bit of a tart berry. It's the juice POM, P-O-M, is acai, their original flavor. And it's got all sorts of antioxidants, and like James Bond, it gets rid of all the free radicals and does all sorts of neat stuff. But it's got a very unique flavor. And it's fun to do because nobody else is doing it.
A 5-pound bag of sugar is now 3.9 pounds.
Oh, it went down from 4?
Right.
Oh, they're getting worse. It's terrible.
Steve likes to dilute the pre-mix.
Yes.
What would you call it?
Yeah, because sugar is like sandpaper. and it's the only thing that could wear your blades, which normally last 5 to 6 years. Everybody else on the market
Yes, they last, instead of lasting 40 years, they'll last 38 years.
Yeah, but everybody else lasts 6 months. But by just putting the sugar in, it's going to be fine. And it's cold water. I laugh at these recipes because I went to the Caribbean as a young child, year after year after year, and that was back when the only
child.
Maybe. That was in order to drink water, it was actually cheaper to drink rum. Rum was 75 cents, and Poland spring water was 79 cents. So Dad said, brush your teeth with the rum. True. But the water came from rainwater. They didn't have a big, huge system in St. Croix. So we would have to boil the water. And I see these executive chefs talking about sorbets and boiling the water and the sugar together. If you want to see what happens, go home, boil some water, and then cool it and put it in the refrigerator and try drinking it tomorrow. It'll be the most awful water you ever tasted because you've boiled all the air out of it. The air just disappears, it boils away. And the water is flat tasting, so your sorbet has already got 2 strikes against it. When I pour this in, maybe there'll be a little stream of sugar that didn't dissolve, and I'm already finished doing it. A little tiny stream. So what? I used 3.5 pounds of sugar. What's a little tiny stream? It won't make a hill beans in the formula. So I've got the water, I've got the sugar. I'm ready to pour this in and go to town. Make sure the gate is closed. The last thing I did on this machine was I took out all the water. Can you see okay? Let me move that. I took all the water out of the machine, and then I get distracted, and I come over, and I'm pouring in my next flavor, and it's going all over the floor, and the gasket must be leaking, or the door is leaking, and that expletive deleted Steve Thompson. He built a lousy machine, and then you find out you left the gate open. Make sure the last thing you do is close the gate. So, sugar water.
You got that, old man? The guy who in the car?
I hear you.
Steve got, well, I'll let him tell you.
No, it's okay. I have a new car. It's a little bigger than the Starship Enterprise. And
Sure
I was backing out, and I wasn't backing out fast enough for someone, and so this man yells out the window, "Hey, move it, old man!" And I got out, and I walked over to him. I said, "Thank you very much. I've been waiting for someone to call me an old man, because now I can go into the class of people that don't give a rat's behind about what you say." And he didn't know what to think of it. Okay, I'm turning this on. No, I'm not. I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to go back to my list, make ice cream, and I'm going to pick. This is an Italian ice. So where are we? Go to the next page, and it says Italian ice. There we go, and hit start. That gives me the speed I have picked for you for Italian ice. Now, if you're an executive chef and Steve doesn't know anything, you also have up and down arrows. So if I picked one speed and you want 5 RPM less, you can just tap it up and down. So that's in there, and I'm going to start up this. Now we're freezing. I have a couple of bags of berry medley. These look good to me. Strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and red raspberries. It wasn't in my formula. It wasn't even what I was planning to do. But I thought it looked nice, so I'm just going to get it and I thawed them first. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Are they defrosted or are they still frozen?
No, they're defrosted, because if I put them in frozen, you get little ice chunks of fruit. So I defrosted them in the refrigerator overnight. I mean, right there, we've got a great flavor. And then the acai is 12 quarts, 32.
How much you need?
I need, it says 3 quarts, but I don't think I need that much. Let's try it. This will take a while to freeze because it's an Italian ice and because it's a high sugar content. $32 64.
Is it 3 quarts?
Yeah, that seems too much.
Yeah, that's way too much. This is 46. 3 quarts would be adding this whole thing.
Yeah, should I add half of that?
I think so.
But
we
more.
can always taste it.
But more.
What?
But add more.
What do you mean
I
add
just
more?
put one in.
Yeah, add a little bit and then we'll taste it. That's all. We'll just taste it and see what it is, what it needs. That has a flavor to it, right?
Oh yeah, that's the key flavor. Okay, I'm going to turn it off for a minute. Turn off the refrigeration and wait. Oh, I don't have to open it up, do I?
That's very good.
As is?
That's very good.
Flag the tape, Jeff. It liked something. Jeez, I can't believe it.
That's very good.
Call the Star Ledger.
That's good. Did you add any of this other one?
No.
Well, add a cup, a little
No,
bit.
I did add a little bit, but I'll add a little
Just
more.
a hair.
Now, don't do what we're doing. We're going to come up with a perfect formula, even though he doesn't want to. And we didn't write anything down. We have no idea what's in here. What we should be doing is writing down the basic formula and then say, no, I'm not adding that much, but I'm adding this much. So that when you make it and it's great, you have the formula. There's nothing worse than making a new formula
that's good.
and then finding out you don't know what's in it.
That's very good.
So that's all that's in there. And we'll let that freeze. Yes.
My question is, so since it's going to be the acai.
Acai.
Yeah.
See, it's hard.
Wrong gal. Why did you add strawberries and berries?
Just
Why
to
not?
give it some more character. The acai is very nice, but I just thought it would be more fun if there were other fruits in there. You know, kind of like a fruit salad. And notice we can't. We threw the container away. The other fruits were more on the tart side also. Raspberries, blackberries. I looked at one group that was strawberries and bananas, and I thought, well, that's just going to raise the sweetness level. Let's stick with the tart, which it should be, but just add some, character to it. So you can make it up as you go along. That's the beauty of it. And nobody else has your formula except you when you write it down.
Is there sugar in that fruit?
No, it's just straight fruit. That's the beauty of frozen fruit. Is if you're here in Florida with an ice cream parlor and you want to have blueberry ice cream, or even let's use strawberry ice cream year round, which you need. The strawberry, if you use fresh fruit, is going to be awful in January because the strawberries are coming from Argentina and they taste like cardboard. If you wait till February, they're grown here in Florida and they're slightly better. If you wait till June or July, they come out of Long Island and all sorts of places, and they're sweet as can be. But when you buy the bags of fruit, they're picked from the fresh strawberries that were at the peak of freshness, thrown in a bag and frozen, and that's all that's in there. And you buy the store brand. This is one place where I go cheap. The bag of Dole strawberries are very nice and pretty and uniform because they want you to put it into a nice champagne glass like this. You're going to open up that frozen bag of Dole strawberries and put it into a nice thing like this and serve it to your guests for dessert. We're throwing it into a machine that's going to take those very soft strawberries and puree them just because they're soft, and so we'll never see how pretty they were. So I'll buy the store brand because the only difference is grade. As far as grade means in fruit is how nice does it look, not how good is it, not necessarily. So I'm going to buy the less expensive and use more. You can never use too much flavor. Yes.
One day I was bored. We don't sell Italian ices, but one day I was bored. I watched one of your videos and made like pineapple and lemon ice.
Yeah.
But then I stored it in the ice cream cooler, and the next day it was completely frozen.
Right.
So you have to. You can't use the same cooler for ices as you do ice cream. Is there optimum temperatures for both that you store them?
Yes, there is. Okay, so ice cream temperature. Mike, can you swing all the way over here, over to this cabinet? Yes? No? Over here? Okay, so your normal dipping cabinet, we call them dipping cabinets. They come visual that you can see the product, or the floppy door. This is what my grandfather was using before he invented his machine. This is what I call a floppy door cabinet because the lid flops over on itself. They hold their temperature better than the glass ones, and they cost less to buy. Well, if this was ice cream, this would be set at 6 degrees above zero. 6 degrees Fahrenheit is the proper temperature for scooping ice cream. Italian ice, the way I make it, sugar, water, and flavor, no chemicals whatsoever, is 10 degrees warmer, 16 degrees. So I made that ice, that lemon ice yesterday. I put it in my chest freezer. It froze up solid as a rock. And tonight, before I go home, I look at the weather and they say, oh, it's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow. It's going to be in the 70s. I know I'm going to go through a couple of tubs of lemon ice. So I'm going to move them from the you can't scoop it into here tonight. And by tomorrow when I want to serve it, it's now
hold
warmed
this
up
for me. I
to
gotta
16
pour it.
degrees, and I can scoop it. And then you say, well, but I've been to Rita's and other places where I know they have ice cream and Italian ice in the same cabinet. What's Steve talking about? Well, they're making their Italian ice with sugar and water, and that's where it ends. Now they're adding all sorts of artificial flavors, colors, stabilizers, designed to allow you to scoop the Italian ice at the same temperature as the ice cream. I want to make a far better product than they do. That's the old-fashioned product. So I buy 2 cabinets if I'm an ice cream parlor. I buy one for ice cream and a smaller one for my Italian ice. If I'm in Florida, I'm selling ice year-round. If I'm in Chicago, I'm going to sell it May 1st to the end of October. And then if I'm a store, I'm going to turn the thermostat on this cold again, and I'm going to use it for ice cream or novelties. It's a special order from the manufacturer. There's 2 of them in the U.S. to take an ice cream cabinet and put in a different thermostat so it'll go to Italian ice. So they do it. And if you want to call me, anybody out there, I'll give you the names. I'll give you the president of the company or the senior vice president, because those are the people I deal with, and those are the ones my customers deal with. And you're going to say to them, I'm going into the ices business with Steve Thompson, and they'll know, or they'll know to change the thermostat out when they manufacture it. So instead of a range of -5 to +10, you're going to get a range of 0 to +20. So it'll cover ices and ice cream. Very simple. Probably doesn't even cost any more. Or tell them I said it doesn't cost any more, and then they'll have a fit and won't charge you. But it's all about the serving temperature. Now that's coming along nicely. That's been 9 minutes. I expect it to be about 18 because of the high sugar content. Ice cream is high in fat and low in sugar. Italian ice, sorbet, dairy-free is it has no fat, but it's high in sugar. And the more sugar in a product, the longer the freezing time. There's a New York Italian ice or Italian ice. There's Philadelphia water ice. Besides being a horrible name, and I can't make fun of it because we sell a lot of machines to Philadelphia people, but when someone calls up from San Diego and says, I want to go into the water ice business, my first question is, so when did you leave Philadelphia? Oh, 5 years ago. How'd you know? Because you called it water ice. There is a difference, and this is the secret stuff that I give away for free. On the 24-quart machine, my sugar content is 7 pounds of sugar for New York Italian ice. For Philadelphia water ice, it's 8 pounds of sugar. The extra pound of sugar will not necessarily make it sweeter. It's not enough, but the sugar makes it smoother. So it's a smoother, creamier product than New York. And that's all it is 1 pound of sugar. You can spend the rest of your life trying to find that secret, and it's just one of the things I give away. Now you go into Bay 8th Street in Brooklyn, a real all-Italian neighborhood where nobody speaks English, and they're going to sell something called Granita, Granita, I think, or Granite. And Granita is Italian ice, but it's really crunchy. It's almost icy. And that isn't 8 pounds of sugar like Philadelphia. It's not 7 like New York. It's 6 like in Italy. And so now you're making old-fashioned Granitas. Still, sugar, water, and fruit, or sugar, water, and flavor. So, and cheap. I mean, your water is, you can't even hardly put a price on it. And sugar is not as expensive as dairy, so it's just a wonderful product to sell. And for your business, we have two gentlemen here, one from Chicago, one from Texas. They're going to go into the Italian ice business. They're going to get people walking up to their establishment, and they're going to look at them, and they're going to go, oh, I wish I could do this. And they're going to say, you can't do that. My formulas came from my great-great-grandfather from Genoa, Italy. Well, yeah, who are you kidding? That great-great-grandfather, I've never been to Genoa, and I'm not Italian. The next one is semi-truthful. Oh, you can't do this because you have to buy it from Little Jimmy's, and it's $1,000. You turned it off. Okay. It's $1,000 a portion. The real answer, and then we'll pull it, or you can pull it now if you want. Look at that. The real answer is, you like my ice? I'll tell you what. You call me on Monday. Tell me how many tubs of lemon, cherry, or grape you want. You can come Friday. I'm going to sell you a tub for $40. I'm going to freeze it down hard as a rock. We'll put it in your igloo cooler in the back of your car, and you take it to your pizza parlor, or you take it to your push cart. You have a little freezer in your garage, and you go out this weekend and make money selling your ice. You don't even have to call it Stefano's Brooklyn Ice, my name. You can call it anything you want. And within this time next year, you'll have 20 people buying from you, buying your ice. You're a mini wholesaler now. The trick is, let them pick it up. You're not running a Department of Transportation truck. You're not keeping all these heavy federal government books on the truck. You're just letting them pick it up. The idea came from the Ice's King of Corona over by LaGuardia Airport. He does a big retail business. He does a lot of wholesale that's not wholesale. If you're a pizza parlor in Manhattan, you send someone to drive out to Queens to pick up 10 tubs of ice and you drive it back. It's that good. So we'll portion this up and we'll see what we've got.
The cups are already set.
Look at that. So this is Italian ice. Isn't that color beautiful? Wow. And that's all natural.
And that's Lucas helping you out.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. If anyone wants seconds, you can't, because it's for my wife. I'm sorry. Oh, look, see? Christy shows up. My wife sent her.
What's this one?
This is Paula's acai
Oh, yes.
with berries in it. All sorts of berries. Yes, she did. No, she demanded it.
She does most things.
No, you're making Paula out to what she's not. Here's a nice couple of berries in there. This looks great. Did you try it, Jeff?
I'm going to try it now.
Okay. My biggest critic.
Looks like the stuff you get at the beach.
Oh, no beach I go to.
I made a bunch of Italian ice and took it to the beach. That worked out really well.
I used to go to Orchard Beach up in the Bronx. It was fun to, well, I was going to say mug people. I'm supposed to say it was fun to watch people get mugged. Orchard Beach has the New York City Police Department firing range right next door, so it's always thousands of cops. Doesn't bother anybody. They still mug you.
Just got good at it.
Yeah. They say please. Did you try it, Jeff?
Yeah.
And?
And it's excellent, and I have one criticism.
Okay, what's the criticism?
No, we'll wait. See if anyone else picks up on it.
All right. Well, I'll try it too. Because again, I haven't made this with the fruit in it. I've always done it with just the acai.
Flavor's extraordinary.
Oh, there's a big butt coming. I've been on a diet. I don't have a big butt, but my products do. Is that enough? What do you think?
Yeah, he counts them out.
Christy, you want to try it?
Yeah, I'll try it when I
Okay, I'm going to try it. You want to pass those out then?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take a spoon.
Don't forget Mike.
This one?
I'm doing Mike now.
Okay.
Yeah, right? Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
I don't find anything wrong with it. Maybe a little more acai.
No, I think the flavor's great.
Oh, then I don't find anything wrong with
Well, I'll tell you what I find wrong with it.
it. Okay, what?
The fruit's too hard.
Not fully thawed.
I would puree it.
You'd puree it?
Yeah.
Okay. I like the bites of fruit.
Well, I don't like frozen. That's why I don't make strawberry ice cream. I don't like frozen pieces of fruit in my ice cream.
So you had a personal prejudice against it from the start.
Whatever.
Did you get one? Do you want one? Yeah. I'm sorry. And she took it. I'll be right back with one.
No, here.
Oh, good. Okay.